We're returning to the fintech space with Casava Microinsurance Nigeria, which prides itself as the country's first 100% digital insurance company and has just raised $4 million in pre-seed funding, the largest of such funding for an insurtech company in sub-Saharan Africa. Bode Pedro is the founder of Casava, and he's here to discuss the latest funding round and more on the digital insurance market. Congratulations, Bode, and that's quite a good one. $4 million in your back pocket to start a new year, where it's Casava, not Casava, by the way. So it's all there. It's interesting. How did you achieve this funding, and who are the key investors?
Thank you very much. First of all, it's not in my back pocket. It's stakeholder funds, and we have a fiduciary duty to create value for not just them, but for our customers. Now, the truth is, we were very fortunate. We got the support of a lot of tech founders. Okpeyemi Aoyemi of Jobberman.com, Olubenga Agbola of Flutterwave.com, Babs Ogunde of Kuda Bank, Honey Ogunde of Edukoya, Uche Pedro of BellaNiger.com, Tosin Enilorunda of Team Apps, Shola Akinlade of Paystack, and so on and so forth, were our first backers. They really believed in the opportunity to provide insurance value to the market, and they supported us. Because of that, we were able to get institutional investors, including Target Global, one of the biggest venture capital companies in Europe, and Entry Capital also, as well as other international founders, tech founders like Tom Bloomfield of Monzo.com and Ed Robinson of Stash.com. So it really started from the ground up, founders and my colleagues in the industry who really believed in what we're trying to achieve and decided to support us.
Interesting, Bode. Talk to us about the fund's deployment. How would you deploy, and why would you so decide?
Yes. So first of all, it's very important to really talk first about Casava. And what we want is to create a product and an experience for consumers that they enjoy. Insurance is something that people don't enjoy and they don't want. And our focus is to make insurance enjoyable so that they can thrive and prosper. So we want to make it affordable. So if you have 500 Naira, you can buy insurance. We want to make it convenient. So it's very easy to subscribe. And when there's a claim, it's not a hassle to make claims. Super paperless, very trustworthy, very transparent. And then most importantly, we want to make it valuable. And the way we want to make it valuable is to be able to bundle insurance with other value-added services so people feel like they're getting something out of it, which is always a challenge sometimes when you may not know when you're going to claim. And so the investments that we have is to invest in product development so that we can improve on that value offering, as well as to grow with respect to distribution across the country and eventually outside of Nigeria.
Well, is digital insurance the new game changer, not just for Nigeria, but the entire sub-Saharan Africa, outside the traditional insurance companies, brick and mortar, as we know them for years and decades?
It's not only a new game changer, it's the only changer. It's the only way. So let me give you some perspective. Just about 2 million Nigerians have active insurance policies, and 99.99% of Nigerians are underinsured, which means that you may have health insurance, but you don't have insurance for your home. You don't have insurance for your phone. This is critical because there's a direct connection between insurance and prosperity. And a lot of people get into this cycle of poverty because they don't have insurance. They can't transfer wealth to their families. They can't invest because an event happens in their life and then just takes all their investments and their wealth out because of that event. So insurance is critical. Across sub-Saharan Africa, there are less than 25 million people that are insured in a continent with over 1 billion people. So imagine the impact, financial, mental, and even economical, of insurance if people are not just insured, but fully insured. And that's why we're excited about the opportunity.
Well, insurance, is it more a challenge of penetration as you just roll out the numbers? Is it more about the fact that this is going to be digital or fintech-based or different from the way traditionally been sold? Well, what will make folks begin to accept insurance as a way of life?
So the interesting thing is that we're not just focused on just the digital, we're focused on the product. How are we making insurance attractive and appealing? So we invested in behavioral science to focus on making a product that people see not just the long-term benefits, but that short-term value. So we bundle it with value-added services that would make insurance customers feel cared for, to make insurance customers feel like they have something that they value, not just for the long term, but the short term. So to capsulate everything, it's not just the digital aspect of it, it's the reinventing insurance as a product.
Yeah, reinventing insurance as a product. So would there be differentiation between status, between classes, between age, between working class and those who are in formal sector and those who are in informal, very huge sector, not just in Nigeria, but across Africa as well?
And that's something that is also different about us. So the same billionaire uses WhatsApp, and the same low income but growing and emerging individual also uses WhatsApp. We're seeing it with Netflix, we're seeing it with Google, we're seeing it with Gmail, we're even seeing it with the banking industry. For us, Casava is for everyone. And our vision is that no matter where you are, no matter what your background is, we believe that our products will be acceptable to you and hopefully in the future will be valuable to you. And that's the way we see insurance.
NICOM, Nigeria's insurance sector regulator, is looking at microinsurance, micro pensions, and all of that. Is this what is this along the thinking of the regulatory authorities?
As you saw what happened in Nigeria last year, it was a big challenge. And I think NICOM also confirmed that their goal and their vision is to get insurance penetrated across the country. And I'm really very happy and humble that they've given us this opportunity to drive microinsurance penetration across Nigeria. And we believe that with their support, with their mentorship, I think we'll be able to achieve that goal.
Okay, so in terms of now, do you think there's going to be more competition here for you? How do you think this will be? Would you need more this is a pre-seed funding. How are you proceeding next with additional funding round?
Well, value. When you give value to customers, all things can happen. All good things will happen. So our goal is to provide to our end, give them insurance, and if something happens, we're there for them, so that they see us as genuinely their support system in case something happens. So that's our primary focus. However, we see an opportunity to scale outside of not just Nigeria, but across the continent. And of course, there'll be opportunities for funding when the time comes.
Okay, we wish you all the best as you folks move on at Casava Microinsurance Nigeria. Thank you so much for your time this evening.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that.